Okay, and the first thing up today is this Trettitre CD player. We have reviewed another variation of this, so I didn't want to spend too much time on this, but I think it is a worthy review because it's just so darn bizarre. It is it's the weirdest, CD player that I've ever seen. At least the other one was. So if you if you've never seen one of these before, you will be forgiven for being very confused. Yes, this is the CD player. Packaging is top notch. I mean, we got foam everywhere. We've got this manual here. It's all very well done, well produced. It's just a very strange design idea. It is a rechargeable one. I know a lot of people don't particularly like the idea of a rechargeable CD player, but you got to think of it's not like the CD players of yore. It's not like it's the 90s and you're planning on this being a lifetime purchase. This is a CD player you're going to have for a period of time, several years, and then maybe you move on to something else. It's not something that necessarily needs to be around for 30, 40 years. Look how bizarre this is. Yes, it's designed to be portable. What does it look like to me? It kind of looks like a burner, like a camping stove, like you're going to put a pot on here and like boil some water. Just it's so out of this world. So look at this. And the other one was black and this one is white. It's a soft touch, so it is plastic, but they've got a soft touch coating and on the top there, and it's just bizarre. There's the screen. We'll look at that in a minute. Looking on the bottom here, it does say Trettitre, and some of the specifications look like they're laid out a little differently on this one. It does play, obviously, CDs, CDRs, CDDA, CDRWs, and HD CDs. If you have any of those laying around, you can play your HD CDs. And that truly is a separate format, by the way. That's not just a marketing thing. And we've got rubberized feet down here, just a very angular, sharp edged design. It's so very bizarre. So we got our volume controls, transport controls. It does pair Bluetooth, so you can listen with Bluetooth headphones. There's the charging port, USB-C, as well as the headphone jack, a lock and on and off switch, and then the screen. And then to open it, you literally just, this is the weirdest part, you just pivot open this metal, and it's pretty substantially heavy metal. It's kind of a felt coating on this side to protect your CD, and it just swivels. I mean, it just don't do that. Don't hit your granite countertop with it, but it just swivels down. It's just so darn bizarre. Here is a look at the transport. There's not much under the hood. We are going to test it with a very cool compact disc. This is from 1998. I've been looking for a good excuse to test this out. This is the 1998 Disney die cut CD. In the 90s, there was this phase where they were doing die cut compact discs, and I remember I had one or two. It still has the coupon on there where you can get a cassette, $3 off any Disney cassette. So nice. This is so cool. And then yeah, it doesn't have much music on it because it is essentially a single. And if you haven't quite figured out what we're looking at here, the CD is die cut, so it's kind of like the picture discs of compact discs. Even the back, Disney does everything to the hilt, and this is no different. So look at this, and it's the same idea. I think these were polycarbonate with the aluminum film construction. Surely they were made as a regular CD and then die cut out. And then on the bottom, the playable surface is obviously smaller than a regular CD. So that's why it only holds, a few songs. And you may notice this little punch out up here. You may be saying, what in the world? Well, you can hang it on your tree as an ornament. You can actually use this as an ornament. So this kind of CD requires a CD player such as this that has a center hub where it snaps on. You couldn't put this CD in a traditional CD player that like a drawer loading or a kind of like a slot loading one. That wouldn't work. So we're going to look at that spinning in a minute, because one of the side effects, or side effects, one of the things about this, features of the CD player, is you can play the CD irregardless of the door being open, which I don't know how I feel about that, because you don't want, laser light shining in your face isn't a good thing. So let's go ahead and power this guy on, just like this, and see what happens here. It's got a nice black and white screen. Wow, that was a lot of noise. What in the world? Motor coming to life, I guess. And there we go. So it is playing. Starting to pick up some fingerprints on here. It's a nice brushed aluminum finish, by the way. That is, it's got good weight to it. Very, very cool. Does not come with headphones. So let me connect it to a speaker and we'll go from there. Okay, we've got a speaker connected. Let's hit play. Skipping forward again. Sound is phenomenal. Oh, it does stop playing if I open it. Okay, I was wrong. I thought it would keep playing with that lid open, but no, it does shut it off. Oh, it doesn't. Okay, I can hit play. It pauses it, and then you can start it again. Things you should probably not do with your CD player, but hey, that's what this show is for, right? Doing the things you wouldn't otherwise do. It's kind of like a rental car. What could I do with this car? If it wasn't a rental car, I probably wouldn't throw it into reverse highway speeds, but what the heck? Just kidding. Don't do any of that stuff. Terrible ideas. I got that from Jeff Foxworthy. Okay, so there's an odd CD player. Not sure if I'm going to get another excuse this season to show off this CD, so I want to, one more time, let's have a look at it. Just an amazing creation. That's cool. Isn't that awesome? I stumbled upon that down in Texas, I believe. Very, very cool. All right, on to the preamp. All right, guys, we are picking a random winner. We're going to be using the pickawinner.co website. It is going to be filtering entries that have the key phrase "enter me" in it. And let's see what happens here. And we have 31 comments, and we're going to pick the winner. And the winner is Jack Keaton. Jack, you have 48 hours to contact me, Record-ology1938@gmail.com. And if you do that, your record player will be on its way. All right, super excited about this. This is a Fosi Audio Phono preamp, and it's a tube preamp. And I'm very, very excited because I have wanted a preamp for some time and never had a chance to experiment with it and to, most importantly, listen to one. So we are going to do just that. I thought it would be more fun than just doing a regular sound test to do kind of a comparison sound test. So we'll listen to a record with a solid state preamp and then compare it to this one. All right, big reveal. Ooh, cool. Nice and compact. Here's the manual and there's what it looks like. This is a nice, solid, professional metal construction. I came from a pro TV and AV background, so I'm used to working with equipment that's solid and rugged and metallic. These knobs are also metal. Ooh, good click on that. Seems like good quality construction. I'm aware of Fosi Audio before. I've never, again, had a chance to review any of their stuff. Headphone jack, treble bass control, on and off volume. On the back, we've got the grounding post, because when you use an external preamp, you need a grounding post from the turntable. The moving magnetic input. So this is specific to moving magnetic cartridges, which make up the bulk of what people would use them for. But if you have a moving coil cartridge, this would not supply adequate amplification for that. And then the output, line input as well, which is awesome. So you can get that tube warmth from your CDs or whatever you wanted to run through the line input. 12-volt power supply. On the bottom, we got rubber feet. Those look like gold terminals. Very, very cool. And then obviously there's where we're going to plug in the valves. And we've got those LED lights. That's funny. I wonder if they're illuminated with LEDs, because our tubes actually provide sort of an amber glow by themselves. They are General Electric, and they're awesome. Absolutely phenomenal. I think this is so, so cool. And if you are not sure what you're looking at there, basically a tube or valve is a way to amplify. Like a transistor is a more contemporary analog. So a transistor's job is to amplify current. And previous to that, that was done through tube amplification, as you see here. And you may be saying to yourself, why are we going backwards in time? Well, like so many things, we found out after the fact that we had it right all along. And tube amplification gives a nice warm sound, and people want that. So we've gone back to the way of tubes for higher end audio. If you look at super high end systems, they will have tubes. So that is really cool, and I'm excited to give it a listen. It's kind of funny though, because like starting in the 1960s, there was a big push about transistorizing the world. and radios marketed themselves on how many transistors they had. This is a 6 transistor radio. This is an 8 transistor radio. But anyway, let's put them in the unit and go on from there. Okay, I've never done this before. It feels kind of wrong to be holding this with my bare hands because with studio lights that look similar to this, you can't touch it with your bare hands because the oils will make the glass kind of deform and sometimes blow up. So I need to line up these pins. I'm assuming these don't get that hot. I don't know. Not an expert here, guys. I'm just an enthusiast. Got the pins lined up. Oh gosh, I don't want to force it. It doesn't go in as easy as you would think. I want to make sure. Oh man, I don't want to bend a pin or worst case break it. Okay, don't roll away on me. So yeah, I need to be very, very careful. Okay, that was slightly terrifying. I did get them in there. It took quite a bit of force. I felt like they were going to bust, but I was as gentle as possible because they did need to seat down into the receptacle pretty deep. So got them in there and we should be good to go. Now, I would imagine a tube is something you don't want to move once it's warmed up and going. So I'm going to, rather than plug it in here, I'm going to move it straight into my office where we will be testing it, get it connected. And again, we will listen to a solid state preamp first, and then we will listen to this and see if we can hear a difference. Okay, so here we are. We are going to be using the Technics SL-BD22. And for the solid state preamp, we're going to be using a U-turn Phono preamp. This is the Pluto 2. Again, this one is solid state. So we want to compare the sound of a solid state preamp to that of the tube preamp. So without further ado, let's go ahead and drop our needle and give it a listen. Okay, I just got done editing the side-by-side and listening to it. I definitely think that the tube amp has better detail. It does sound warmer, so it is my favorite between the two, although the Pluto Phono preamp is no slouch. Absolutely a great preamp.